Let's try something different. So let's have some fun and play some writing games. This first roll is going to tell me what we're going to be working on today. 2, which means we're going to be working on Before the Muddas. Muddas. Roll number 2. 2. Time it out, which means we get to roll again to figure out how much time is going on the clock for me to do my writing sprint. Is that a 20? That's 20. Okay, we got a 20-minute writing sprint. All right, let's do this. We could do 20 minutes. We could totally do 20 minutes.
It was the smallest of breakdowns, a baby breakdown, nothing of any significance. And yet, I knew a loaded answering machine awaited me once I crossed the threshold of the sunshine yellow vinyl building.
It's a new day, and it's time for a new roll. 1. Call it a day. Read a book instead. Sounds good to me. Death was a familiar concept to me. I saw it as a natural part of our existence, something we raged against and did our best to postpone for as long as possible, but each of us would succumb to it eventually. I knew that, knew the finality of it, the inevitability of it, but the helplessness. It's a new day, and it's time for a new roll. 4. So it looks like we're going to be working on
Too vivid to be true.
2. Cool, time it out. All right. Ooh, 50-minute sprint. All right.
Too Vivid to Be True is a Vela series that I'm working on based on dreams I've had in the past. And the one I'm working on right now is called Do You Take This Vampire? Which is all about an adult entertainer who wakes up the morning after a party craving for something that is not food. She winds up stumbling upon a very hesitant bride, and once the bride has been fully entertained, she decides she's going to take over her place.
Ready for a new roll? 2. Before the Murders. Now it's time for a second roll. 4. Ask the viewers. I haven't done this one yet. Let's see what I end up getting. 2. Right outside until you hear a horn honk. What I wouldn't give to redecorate this place. My bedroom's horrid, childish, painful to look at. Cutesy little shelves with purple ribbons and pink bows, laden with precious moments figurines. Who would ever think that some blonde little girl being pushed on a swing by an even cuter brunette boy was proper decor for a teenager, let alone an adult? I'm 1 year away from graduating, 1 year further away from childhood, 1 year closer to death. As a storm draws near, it's time for another roll.
3. Total control. 4. Ask the viewers. I had so much fun with this last time, so let's go.
5. Write until 2 plants or flowers are mentioned. It's because I can't roll my R's correctly. One of my teachers told me to try using a D and pretend I'm flipping it around in my mouth. Probably the reason why I always sound terrible speaking Spanish. I tried it for nearly 2 months before bailing to focus on Japanese. Such a fun language too. Sakura no ki kawaii, kawaii ni. Only the sounds of the engine met me as I waited for her to say more, but Claire continued to stare at the passing greenery. Need a bit more practice there, Claire. But I agree. Gemma is quite pretty. Kenta caught my eye in the rearview mirror. And yes, comparable to cherry blossom trees. Today, there will be no dice roll. A friend of mine is putting together an anthology, and I wanted to submit a piece. So, this is the beginning of that story. Ever smell flesh cooking? Hear eyeballs popping from the pressure as the water inside boils? Feel the skin as it slides down your bones? Your hair crinkling and curling up into your scalp? A heat so severe, your eardrums get tight and tear, itch. What about experiencing that every night for a week straight? A month? Waking to find you can't move, can't speak. Your breath stutters, your chest tightens. Your heart beats loud enough the gods in heaven could hear it crystal clear. But this isn't you. This is me. It's a new day, and it's time for a new role. 4. Too vivid to be true. 3. Words matter. Ooh, 60. That means 600 words for this writing sprint. Let's go. A cry burst from my lips as he gave an extra tug, hitting the joystick on his chair. Not because I felt the pain of the stitches, but I could see them tearing through the skin. It would take ages to repair that damage. It was my turn, and he didn't see the embroidery shears in my lap. One snip, and my arm unraveled, degloved, until I twisted to snap my elbow. Fuck it, he could keep the arm. It was my left one anyway. What I didn't factor in was the momentum caused by the action. As I fell, I thought he'd gotten the better end of the deal. He hit something. I went out the window. Then I stopped. Screams surrounded me.